Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and colorful wildflowers, there lived a curious little girl named Lily. Lily loved to explore the world around her, and more than anything, she loved listening to stories. Her grandmother, who lived in a cozy cottage at the edge of the woods, often told her magical tales about distant lands, clever animals, and brave heroes. Every time Lily visited her grandmother, she would sit by the fireplace, eager to hear a new story. One sunny morning, as Lily walked to her grandmother's cottage, she noticed a small, sparkling stone on the path. It glimmered in the sunlight, and when Lily picked it up, she felt a gentle warmth in her hand. Intrigued, she slipped the stone into her pocket and continued on her way. When she arrived, her grandmother greeted her with a warm hug and a smile. "My dear Lily," her grandmother began, "would you like to hear a story today?" Lily nodded enthusiastically. Her grandmother's eyes twinkled as she started her tale. Long ago, in a kingdom far away, there lived a young boy named Oliver. Oliver was kind and friendly, but he was also very shy. He dreamed of making friends and going on adventures, but he was afraid to speak to others. One day, while playing by the river, Oliver found a magical stone. "It was just like the one you found today, Lily." Lily gasped in delight and reached into her pocket to show her grandmother the stone she'd found. Her grandmother smiled knowingly and continued, "Oliver didn't know it yet, but the stone had special powers." That night, as he held the stone tightly in his hand, he heard a tiny voice whisper, "Be brave, and you will discover a whole new world." Oliver was surprised, but he decided to listen to the voice. The next day, he gathered his courage and greeted the baker in the village square with a cheerful, "Good morning!" To his surprise, the baker smiled back and gave Oliver a fresh, warm bun. And as days went by, Oliver found it easier to talk to people. Each time he greeted someone or helped a neighbor, he felt the magic stone glowing in his pocket. He made new friends, learned new words, and even told stories of his own. The more he practiced, the more confident he became. Lily listened closely, her eyes wide with wonder. She realized that Oliver's story was not just about magic. It was about learning and growing, just as she was trying to do by learning new words and stories. Her grandmother continued, "One afternoon, a traveler arrived in the village. He spoke a different language and looked lost. Many villagers were unsure how to help, but Oliver remembered the magic of kindness and courage. He used simple words, gestures, and a big smile to welcome the traveler. Soon, others joined in, and together they learned new words from the traveler while teaching him their own language. They laughed, shared food, and told stories by the fire. The village grew closer, and everyone discovered the joy of learning together. Lily thought about the story and asked, "Grandma, do you think the stone I found is magical too?" Her grandmother smiled softly and said, "The real magic, Lily, is inside you. Every time you try something new, every time you learn a new word or share a story, you are using your own magic. Remember, learning a language is like going on an adventure. There may be challenges, but with courage and practice, you will discover wonderful things." Inspired by the story, Lily decided to practice her English words that day. She named the objects she saw on her walk home: tree, flower, bird, sky, sun. She greeted her neighbors with, "Hello?" and "How are you?" At home, she told her parents the story of Oliver and the magic stone, in English. They listened with pride, and Lily felt the warmth of the magic stone in her pocket, just as Oliver had. From that day on, Lily made it a habit to learn new words and use them every day. She labeled items in her room with their English names: bed, chair, window, book. She wrote short stories about her adventures in the village and shared them with her friends and family. Sometimes she made mistakes, but she remembered her grandmother's words. Every mistake was a step toward learning something new. As the seasons changed, Lily's confidence grew. She joined a group of children at the village library, where they read fairy tales in English and played word games together. They discovered that learning a new language was easier and more fun when they helped each other. They cheered each other on, celebrated their progress, and even created their own stories, filled with dragons, princesses, and talking animals. One day, a festival was held in the village. People from many different places came, speaking many different languages. Lily was excited to meet new friends. She greeted visitors in English, listened carefully, and tried to understand their stories. She realized that language was a bridge that connected her to the whole world. As the sun set and lanterns lit up the night, Lily thought about her journey. She had discovered the magic of stories, the power of words, and the joy of learning. She knew that there would always be new adventures to find, new words to learn, and new friends to meet. And so, Lily's story continued, just like the stories her grandmother told by the fire. With every word she learned, her world grew bigger and brighter. She understood that learning a language is more than memorizing words. It is about curiosity, kindness, and the courage to try. And whenever Lily felt unsure or shy, she would hold the sparkling stone in her pocket and remember the magic inside her. She would take a deep breath, smile, and begin her next adventure, one word at a time,